Good morning. I was unplugged. Welcome. Members and visitors, welcome to First Unitarian Universalist Church. My name is Carol Dunlap. I serve on your board of directors. I use she, pronouns, no, she, her pronouns. And I am in my mid-60s. I'm wearing a blue dress with pearls and a name tag. I have very short hair with purple highlights in it, and I'm wearing glasses that are teal and pink. Behind all of that is a very white face. Every Sunday, well, I want to precursor this that I did not write this, but I'm not the author of what I'm about to read, but I don't know who is. Every Monday morning, we gather here to commit an act of rebellion. Our rebellion is that our presence here, we say that by our presence here, we say you are important, and you are important. We rebel against the myth that each person is an island. We rebel against the wisdom that commitment to community is dead. We show up, greet one another, and take part in service so that our minds and our hearts may be renewed. We take part so that our spirit and service is strong and generous. If you're visiting for the first time, we hope you feel our sincere welcome, our appreciation for your presence, and our invitation to join this rebellion we call community. We encourage everyone to tune in Sunday mornings a little early to catch the rolling announcements. It's a good way to stay informed about what's happening within our community. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm the Reverend Sherman Z. Logan, Jr., and I'm the Senior Minister of First UU. What a wonderful congregation. Welcome to worship on this beautiful fall morning. I use he, his, him pronouns. I'm a tall, black man, brown complexion, bald head, white beard, tortoiseshell glasses. I'm wearing a brown suit with a gold standing on the side by love stole, a burnt orange and beige plaid bow tie, and a beige shirt. And I'm so happy to be with you all this morning. Joining me this morning are the Reverend Amy Russell, Nadeem Ahmed, Jamie Kilpatrick, Worship and Music Associate, song leaders, Barry Ramsey and Diane Sneed, And in the sound booth, Jim Cragen and Eric Bowers. And welcome all you who are visiting with us and were joining virtually to our worship service. Here at First UU, we have a custom where we invite our visitors to tell us who they are and where you're from. So if you are comfortable, please stand. Jamie will come to you with the mic, and you can tell us who you are and where you're from. So are there any visitors this morning?
Is this working?
No.
It is, okay. And we come from West End, so we have participated in the church in the Glen Allen Church. But good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello, I'm Lauren Hoffman. I'm visiting from Midlothian, and I have family and friends who come here, so I'm checking it out.
Welcome.
Think we're clear.
I think that's it. All right, thank you. Well, we're glad that you are joining us this morning. So now rise in body or in spirit and greet our neighbors and welcome our visitors. All right, you cut me off now.
I am Reverend Amy Russell, she, her. I am a short white woman with curly, frizzy gray hair, and I'm wearing some fall colors of green and red, green and orange today. Today is our day of remembrance. It's that day when we honor those we love who have passed away. And I will invite you later on, if you've brought a picture or a token, to come to add it to our altar of remembrance. Our call to worship today comes from Francis Weller. The work of a mature human being is to carry grief in one hand and gratitude in the other, and to be stretched large by these two things.
Good morning. Good morning. We light our chalice honoring those who have gone before us, remembering with gratitude the legacy of love they have left as an enduring gift. Please stand in body or in spirit to sing our opening hymn, number 163, For the Earth Forever Turning.
There are two congregational teams who offer caring in times of need: the Lay Pastoral Care Associate and Team Kindness. Today, as we commission some new Lay Pastoral Care Associate, let's first learn more about these important ministries.
We've asked the leadership of Lay Pastoral Care Associates and Team Kindness to tell us about this important work. The leadership team for Lay Pastoral Care Associates is Linda Erickson and Rachel Lawrence. And the leadership team for Team Kindness is Kat Spring and Karen King. Rachel Lawrence will be speaking today for Lay Pastoral Care and Karen King for Team Kindness.
Good morning. Lay Pastoral Care Associates offer sustained personal support for those enduring circumstances such as grief, illness, marital changes, unemployment, caregiving, and isolation. We are the listening ear and support of our congregation in shared ministry with Team Kindness and the ministerial team. We are available every Sunday. Look for our orange name badges to serve the needs of our congregants as they arise. You can request assistance for yourself or others through one of the associates or our ministers. I'd also like to take this moment to invite you to Soulful Supper, hosted by Team Kindness and Lay Pastoral Care this Wednesday, or next Wednesday, November 6th, the day following the election. Soulful Supper follows Vespers, which will be held at 6 p.m.
All right. Good morning. My name is Karen King. I am a woman in my mid-20s, I wish. I had this all prepared. Mid-40s, pale skin with freckles, reddish curly hair. And today I'm going to talk to you about Team Kindness. We are a just joyful group and welcome new members. We're the ones that are reaching out for anybody in need, and there is really nothing too small. I myself am somebody that I do not personally like to ask for help, and I know I'm not alone in that. So we really connect with our neighbor-to-neighbor groups and others throughout the congregation, coordinate with Lay Pastoral Care to really hear and see what the needs are. Sometimes it's very hard to ask for help, but if you know somebody that could use a little help, maybe following a surgery or something going on in their lives, definitely reach out to us. A couple of things that we do, we offer meal trains. We set up and deliver meals, and it's not just those on our committee, but we reach out to the groups that the person might be involved in or their neighbor-to-neighbor groups, and we get out birthday cards for some of our congregants that have been around for a while. Anybody 25 plus have what is with the 20s? 65 plus. We get birthday cards. We're reaching out to our members that are in elder care, so it's really getting all of those connections. Thank you.
Okay, I would like to ask the Lay Pastoral Care Associates that are in the audience to please stand, and hopefully I can name you all.
Display the names on the screen, please.
There we go. Yes, I would like to first recognize Catherine Judd, who is retiring after countless years of service. Thank you, Catherine. I do want to mention that I have learned so much from you, Catherine. We meet monthly with our team, and we have a thing called Synergy where we share our experiences, and it is quite an honor to have learned from you. Thank you. Ted Merriman is retiring as co-chair, so thank you for your leadership. I'm Rachel Lawrence. Yes, I didn't introduce myself. My pronouns are she, her. I'm a tall white woman, middle-aged, with white hair, blue floral shirt. Linda Erickson is my co-chair, who I don't see is here right now. Terry Wolf, Kathy Scott, Joan Lewis, Carol Wayne, Bob Rogers, Drew Fridley, Joan Lewis and Eveline Jones are our current members, and we'll be commissioning 2 more today.
All right, now I'd like to recognize those that are on Team Kindness. Let's see here. So we have myself and Kat. So if those that are willing and able to rise that are on Team Kindness, I see a couple in the audience. I know there's one behind me as well. So myself and Kat Springs co-chair Team Kindness, and we have Sheila Chandler, Mary Secret, Terry Wolf Heller, Nadim Ahmed, Lee Jones-Hubert, and Patsy Jones-Hubert. And we have 3 new members for this year, so Ann Joseph, Lee Eicher, and Margot Brown. And always looking for new members to Team Kindness. Thank you.
Thank you, Rachel and Karen. Today, we celebrate and recognize the new lay pastoral care associates whose training and dedication to this work allow us to officially commission them today. They have already been working with us for some months. As a part of our commissioning ceremony, will you all read the parts that's for you, the congregation, that will be displayed on the slide? The community we build is built on care. We are each responsible to demonstrate our care for one another in practical ways. It is our wish that you, as lay pastoral care associates, demonstrate the care of this congregation by being present to the needs that are among us. And I'm going to ask Joel and Mike to come forward. Is Miss Mike here? Yeah. Melissa Farrell, Joel Gottlieb, and Mike Kane are our new lay pastoral care associates, and Melissa can't be here today.
Okay, Joel, we present to each of the care associates, Joel and Mike, we present to each of you the lay pastoral care associates this chalice pin with a symbol of our faith tradition. Mike? Thank you. I believe I have a little bit more to say. Hold on. We commission you as a lay pastoral care associate to offer care to our members on behalf of our congregation.
We accept this commission to be a caring presence in the name of the congregation.
Lay pastoral care associates together.
We welcome you. We recognize your gifts and the strength you bring to our efforts. We are grateful that you have joined us in this important work.
As part of a beloved community, may we all be a presence of care to those who need it. Thank you so much.
And I'd like to offer blessings to our new associates. May the spirit of compassion and understanding guide your every step. As you offer comfort and support, may you be filled with grace and strength that comes from our shared values of love and justice. May your heart remain open to the stories and struggles of those you care for. And may you find wisdom to provide the gentle presence and listening ear that they need. Let your words be words of healing and your touch be a balm to the weary soul. May you feel the deep connection to our Unitarian Universalist shared values, centered in love, drawing upon the inherent worthiness and dignity of every person as your foundation. May your action reflect the interconnected webs of all existence, nurturing both yourself and those you serve. In moments of challenge, may you find solace in the knowledge that you are never alone, but held within the embrace of this beloved community. Let the light of truth, love, and justice illuminate your path, and may you carry this life into the hearts of those you touch. May this be so. Amen. Ashe.
Hello, my name is Patterson Rogers, she, her pronouns. I'm a tall white woman in my early 40s with curly red hair and glasses. I'm the executive director for Chesterfield CASA, the court-appointed special advocates program. We're so grateful to be here speaking with you and to be part of the Share the Plate program. A court-appointed special advocate, or CASA, is a trained citizen who is appointed by a judge to advocate for a child who has experienced abuse or neglect. CASAs are tasked with visiting the children regularly, getting to know their situation and family, and providing the court with information about the child's well-being and best interests. This information helps the judge make big decisions for the child, including where they may live permanently. Our advocates are ordinary citizens doing extraordinary work for children. They make a commitment to stay on a child's case from start to finish, sometimes for 2 years or more. Though CASAs do play an important role in the legal system, more importantly, they can be a listening ear for a child who is going through trauma and change, a consistent positive figure, and a steward of that child's story. Children in foster care go through many, many changes. They might have 4 or more placements, they may change schools many times, have multiple caseworkers, and sometimes inconsistent contact with their family. Children who have been assigned to CASA have benefited from having a consistent figure who knows their story, connects all the professionals involved in their case, and visits them regularly, no matter where they are living. The most incredible part is that all of our advocates are volunteers. They are people with full-time jobs, children, grandchildren, active social lives, and other responsibilities, but they still volunteer over 80 hours a year to work with these children. They have chosen to give back to the community by being there for a child during a very, very difficult time. Chesterfield CASA has served over 2,000 children in our community and hope to serve many more. We deeply appreciate your support. Members of our community like you help us to give children a voice. Thank you.
We will now take our morning offering. Ushers will pass baskets in the sanctuary. There is information on your screen on how to give electronically. We thank you for your generous contributions.
Will you please join me in a spirit of prayer? Spirit of love and life, great mystery, we gather today in grief and in gratitude. May we know that grief comes and grief goes. May we hold fast to the gratitude of the memory. May we know that the mystery is unknowable. May we hold fast to each other. May we know that what comes is what is physical comes and goes. May we hold fast to the love which never dies. As we release what we have lost into the care of the eternal, may we hold fast to the stories, the love, and the light which remains. Let us use this time as a meditation of remembrance. With gratitude, amen.
Remembrance Prayer, They Are With Us Still, by Kathleen McTeague. In the struggles we choose for ourselves, in the ways we move forward in our lives, and bring our world forward with us, it is right to remember the names of those who gave us strength in the choice of living. It is right to name the power of the hard lives well lived. We share a history with those lives. We belong to the same motions. They too were strengthened by what have gone before. They too were drawn on by the vision of what might come to be. Those who lived before us, who struggled for justice and suffered injustice before us, have not melted into the dust, have not disappeared. They are with us still. The lives they live holds us steady. Their words remind us and call us back to ourselves. Their courage and love evoke our own. We, the living, carry them with us. We are their voices, their hands and their hearts. We take them with us, and with them choose the deeper path of living. May this be so. Amen.
So today is an act of remembering. We hope that you hold in your mind someone that you have lost and loved. We're going to invite you to come forward from that side of the congregation, so coming up here to bring a picture or a token of someone you loved, or if you wish, you can take a card and write a name. So we'll have people coming this way and out that way. And as we do this, we will be singing our meditation hymn, Return Again.
Return to
With gratitude, we share these memories. Amen. Thank you all for bringing your memories and your pictures and those things that help you to remember those people who are so important to all of us. These memories are such gifts. Some of us have some physical mementos that we were left, as well as the memories and the pictures in our mind. I know I have. If you've seen my house is just a china collection of things my mother left for me. I think I have 4 different china cabinets with china handed down through the ages that will stop with me because none of my children will ever want this. So you'll see an example of some of the china down there. I brought some this morning. So when I take some of these pieces down from the china closet sometimes, I will find a little gift that I've been left by my mother, a little note on the bottom. I bought this in 1976, and I bought it at this shop, and it's, from 1900 or 1860 or whatever. This long story of where she got it. And what a gift that is as well, because she loved antique china, and that was her great love. And while I like it, I don't love it, but it's such a good memory to have every day. Cultures the world over have developed rituals for honoring and remembering those loved ones who have died. We're all familiar with Dia de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead, from Latin American culture, where the families actually go to the gravesite and have a little picnic with the favorite foods and bring those things that, like we did today, that allow them to remember their loved ones. I love that kind of a little ritual. The celebration is the theme. Celebration and mourning, but joyful mourning. Music and dancing and eating together is central to that kind of a ritual. And then another culture where celebration of the dead is central is Madagascar, where every 5 to 7 years, a celebratory ritual takes place where they actually take some of the bones from the crypt and wrap them in a new shroud and take them to this little ritual where they sing and dance with these bones. It sounds macabre to us, but to them, this is the way they remember it with joy and gratitude. And we all are familiar with, also in New Orleans, that sacred ritual of jazz funerals, the second lines, where you see trombones and all kinds of instruments being played in a parade down the street, where again, it's celebration of the memory. And these traditional African-American rituals originated with enslaved people and live on today in the streets of New Orleans. So, for us in early grief, these celebrations may seem frivolous and out of place. Our hearts may not be ready to be joyful. We may be enmeshed in our sadness, and we cannot even imagine a time when we would feel joy again. Grief can crush our ability to be aware of the tiny things of joy that later in our grief may come back to us. It may be weeks or even months or for some years before we can lift up our heads and begin to notice that the world around us goes on, but the world still contains that precious memory of those people we've lost. So we may be, these memories come to us at the most unusual, unbidden times, like you're walking down the aisle of a grocery store and you see the cereal that they loved, and you maybe reach for it. Or you may be walking in a park and you see the dog that reminds you of your dog. These memories, while sometimes seem scary because they take us unawares, but they are also gifts and times when we can just pause and say, thank you for that memory. So when we move into a time of more acceptance in our grief journey, we begin to realize that all these memories are the gifts that we can hold on to. Then our memories can become perhaps more celebratory and full of gratitude. That's what we're doing today. We're celebrating with gratitude the remembrance of loved ones, of what they left behind us in our hearts, in our minds, and sometimes in our china cabinets. So recently, I was lucky enough to visit France for a couple of weeks, and while I was there, I visited a site where people long ago left their legacy, their mark. And I want you to imagine yourself walking down a slope into a cave, and it's getting darker, and you go into the cave, and you take some time for you don't know where you're going, and you finally get your eyes adjusted, and then you see these pictures. Amazing. These pictures were left to us by people maybe 20,000 years ago. They're not exactly sure how long ago, but can you imagine these people who were so imaginative and creative that they made their mark, and we still have these pictures here today. This is Lascaux. This is where I visited. There's several caves like this that have these pictures. These pictures were left behind by amazing, creative people just like you and me. We aren't that different. So they took a bit of charcoal and some crushed minerals, and they made them in a stick, and they made these amazing representations. You know, these are lifelike. They have perspective. Some of them even have action. It is amazing to me that this was left as a gift for us on these cave walls. So, generational legacies are passed down to us by our ancestors through our DNA and through actual learnings that are housed in our minds and our bodies. Carl Jung posited that the theory that we are all a part of this collective unconscious, that all the knowledge from all of our ancestors is stored in our DNA, that all of humankind share this collective knowledge that has been handed down to us. He believed that these concepts, what he called archetypes, give us unconscious legacy of everything that humankind has ever known. What an amazing gift. So let's be real, though. Not all of these gifts are things that we are grateful for. What we have inherited from our ancestors or from our families of origin has not always served us well. These legacies are complex systems of values and behaviors. Some of these inherited traits go far in helping us deal well with the world we live in now. Instincts such as fight or flight or flee live in our limbic brain, and those are important to help us to survive. But some of these inherited values and understandings do not serve us well in our communities. So for me, like all of us, I have inherited a number of both genetic characteristics and learned values. Some of these genetic characteristics serve me well. I have good health generally, but I also have terrible eyesight, and I have to wear contacts to be able to see, and I have very fair skin that burns terribly. Not exactly a legacy I'm grateful for. But the other legacy I was given were attitudes and behavior taught and modeled by my parents and their parents. So one of these legacies for me was a legacy of white supremacy. I can trace this inheritance back to actual forebears who owned slaves. So not all of the gifts we are given serve us well. Some of these learnings passed down along with the recipes for cornbread stuffing are things I've had to take time to pull apart and to understand so that I can be more aware of everything I've inherited. Resmaa Menakem, an author and psychotherapist, in his book, My Grandmother's Hands, writes about how trauma is inherited through our DNA, as well as transmitted by the stories and attitudes of our families. He relates that this is true for all people, regardless of our ethnicity. We all inherit something that we may or may not be conscious of. He writes, no matter what we look like, if we are born and raised in America, white body supremacy and our adaptations to it are in our blood. Our very bodies house the unhealed dissonance and trauma of our ancestors. He says that the stored trauma from our families live in our bodies. It becomes necessary for us to begin to understand what traits we have inherited and they're hiding within us. The work of anti-racism and anti-oppression is a lifetime of work. It never ends. But also handed down in our culture is things that we have been taught by the stories we were told and the behaviors that we watched through our grandparents and our parents, values that may help us to deal with some of the other legacies that were not so helpful. Some of our families had to develop strong resilience in order to survive and thrive in this world. Menachem talks about his own inheritance. Over generations, many of us African Americans have developed thick emotional skins in a variety of ways. This has served us well, protecting us from a great deal of damage and pain in a dangerous world. This is how resilience works. It doesn't always create full healing, but it may build protection and prevent or blunt future wounding. So we all have inherited legacies, some of which are traits we want to unlearn, and some of which are part of our strengths and our coping mechanisms. We can intentionally work on uncovering these legacies by examining what we were taught and what we observed in our families. And I have to tell you that the Living the Pledge workshop is one of the best ways to do that. If you haven't taken it, it will help you start to uncover that. So my lifelong work is that of being aware of what inheritances I want to reject and which inheritances I want to honor. Perhaps it is the work of all of us. When I began thinking about these inheritances, I began to remember things that my children will inherit from me and from their father. And I thought about my first husband, Scott. My first husband was an engineer and a musician. He loved math and science, and he enjoyed doodling around with a saxophone in a band. His family had definitely given him the gifts of both intellect and learning. Now, one of the other legacies in his upbringing was I call it the ungift of physical punishment. Whenever he or his brother, acted out in some ways, the strap came out, and he was severely punished for things that we don't even know what, but it was severe and it was frequent, this punishment. And yet, Scott never shared this story with me. I guess he was ashamed of it. I did not know until after he was ill, when one of his sisters shared the story with me, and I began to wonder if maybe his cancer, his illness, was caused by this suppressed anger that he had experienced during his life. So this legacy that Scott inherited and stored in his body may have later given him the legacy of cancer. And this behavior probably came from generations of learned behavior of physical punishment. But after we were married and we had small children of our own, Scott would take them outside, carry them on his shoulders, and he would show them the night sky. He would tell them about the constellations of Orion and Cassiopeia, and we would look up on the moon, and he would say to them, "The moon is your friend. You can find it in the sky whenever you need a friend. Just look up." Now, my husband died when my children were teenagers, and they still remember that to this day. That idea that they are loved and that they have a friend in the sky. So those inherited legacy of love, he carried through, and he rejected the legacy that made him ill. There is so much that we have to learn from our parents and our grandparents, the things that we want our children and our grandchildren and our friends to inherit, and those things we know will not serve them well. Bob Rogers and I are facilitating a workshop these days called the End of Life Discussion. Some of you are participating in that, and some of you did last year. And we're talking about what do we want our legacies to be? So it brings up this question: what seeds from my inheritance do I want to leave behind for my children and grandchildren? The loved ones who are remembered here today all have left us legacies of love, and maybe legacies that we recognize don't serve us. But we can carry gratitude for the gifts of love and values that serve us. We can remember the words of Francis Weller, who tells us, "Carry grief in one hand and gratitude in the other, and allow yourself to be stretched large by these two things." Amen, and blessed be.
this time comes to a close, we extinguish our chalice. May we remember that love never dies. It lives on through us, in our hearts and in our hands. It was here before us, and it will be here long after we are done. It is reborn again and again.
Please stand as we say our benediction and sing our closing hymn. The poet Tagore reminds us, say not in grief that they are no more, but say in thankfulness that they were. With gratitude, we are blessed with the gifts we've been offered by those who are now a part of the rising dawn. May we take these gifts into our day with joy and gratitude. Let's sing together our closing hymn, We Laugh, We Cry, number 54.